Hi all, I wanted to give you a little bit more insight into the importance of contact sheets. And contact sheets are very important for editors, clients, and professors, so we can really understand what you are thinking on a shoot, how you're handling challenging, difficult situations, and for editors, they really want to know all the possibilities they have for a magazine or a publication of any sort. They want to know that they have options for images where they could maybe add text, that it fits with a vertical layout or a horizontal layout. So you really want to show diversity. This is a recent shoot that I had for a senior in California at a pretty famous church. This is in Bodega Bay, California, where the birds, the famous Alfred Hitchcock film was made, The Birds. And what I'm trying to show my potential editor or client is different expressions, her body, where this is. There's a location. So I'm thinking about medium shots, overalls, giving some placement to where I am, showing the great location. I'm also getting in really nice and tight and wanting to show that I have a nice clean background. Many of these were just used with a reflector and softbox here, so very simple. I'm also trying to show a couple different looks for this client, particularly her mother, and her as a sweet girl. But of course, as a portrait photographer and doing seniors, they also want a little bit of a sassy look for themselves, even though they might be pretty young. So you want to be able to show a variety of different shots. Again, overalls, here, tighter, medium shots. So that's what I'm looking for. And I'm also looking for different compositions. This is just a small sampling of this shoot. With your contact sheets, I want to see different focal lengths, different compositions, and as I mentioned, overall close-up details. And then if you do have, ideas of how you might want to tone them a little bit differently, those can be your best images, or put them at the end of your contact sheet. Never crop on your contact sheets or do any post-production on your contact sheet. That would be something that you and I would discuss as teacher and student, or your editor would make those decisions. They want to know that they have options to crop those images. So you can put, your ideas here. I'm trying to go back to a little bit of that idea of old film look. So I was playing with a couple different options. And to be honest, I'm still not even sure which one I like. And that is what you have to realize with contact sheets, is we are always the worst editors of our own material. The way we see our work as an individual photographer is much different than the way our client sees it, the way an editor sees it. And so you have to be open to those suggestions. And honestly, that's why editors get the big bucks, because they see something that they really like or need for their publication. Here's a more editorial shoot that I recently did while also in California on lifeguards. And so with this kind of shoot, I'm looking to show, again, that idea of visual variety, overall tights, medium details, and looking for moments, expressions. I'm doing formal and informal portraits. I've got, interaction here. You can see more of my formal type of portraiture where I'm lighting it, then kind of following the lifeguard around, his interaction with someone on the beach. These kids were not supposed to be out in the ocean at this particular beach. It's a very dangerous one here. Talking with an old fisherman, he's giving him some advice on where to go, fishing, interacting with another lifeguard. These guys, their breaks consist of surfing, which is pretty fun. I didn't have a long lens with me to photograph that, but then you can see too here my medium shots. They're interacting, they're talking, they're watching this guy get pummeled by some waves. I'm backing off, I'm getting closer. And this was, a shoot within probably half an hour to 20 minutes. So really be thinking about all the types of shots that you need to get and show both formal and informal, candid, and looking for those moments, thinking about details, overalls, mediums, to tell a story. You need variety. And the other thing is, when you get on something that's really good and that it's all happening for you, shoot the heck out of it. Digital is free. Digital is cheap. And the difference between an okay picture and a great picture is a fraction of a second. So make sure you give yourself those opportunities to have those greats. And often our assignments are going to call for 30 images, 100. It depends on the class and the assignment. And sometimes when you have a series of images, you might not know which one is the best. And here, I know that this guy is a little bit self-conscious about the way that he looks. I think he looks fantastic, but he's conscious about it. I don't know what my editor's going to think. And I can't really decide, to be quite honest, which pictures are the best. I like this one where I have, the people in the background, but I like these where I can see his, walkie-talkie. Do I want the looking off, or do I want the, looking at me? So if you have those kind of dilemmas between minor, portrait images or moments, feel free to always add extra images to your contact sheet, as long as they're not repetitive. I am happy to look at additional images and help you make decisions. I always like to see more than less, but I'm really not a fan of repetition. So, if you're going to show me 3 images from the same shoot, make sure that there's enough variation that I'm seeing that you're thinking about making decisions that are different, choosing different lenses, choosing different positions. It's really important that you're showing the way that you think, the way you're seeing light, and obviously the way that you're exposing. Now, these contact sheets, I just have the file number. I'm really wanting more detail from you usually, but check the individual assignment requirements and follow those. I hope that gives you a little bit more insight into what I'm looking for on a contact sheet, and ultimately what you should be thinking about on a shoot.